This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. So I wanted to tell you guys about a movie that I am watching tonight. It's a movie that I have loved for a long, long time, and never in a million years did I ever think this thing was gonna get a Blu-ray release. I couldn't even find this thing on DVD. I have a very cheap copy of it on one of those big sets of movies, 100 horror movies, one of those big box sets that I've talked about in the past. So it's on one of those DVDs, but it's a really shitty copy. But that's where I first saw this movie, and I was like, what the fuck? This movie's amazing. If only I could find a good copy of it. Well, I finally got a Blu-ray of Top Line, and don't don't let this shitty cover fool you. Yes, this is one of those shitty looking, like those hand-painted posters in Ghana. The artwork looks like that. This artwork is way cooler. And of course, it stars Franco Nero, the white ninja from Enter the Ninja, or as he is known internationally as Django. That's Django himself, Franco Nero. This is a new Blu-ray that I got. I got this copy from Diabolic DVD. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the past I've talked about how nobody else rips off American movies quite like the Italians. The Italians do it better than anybody. They rip off every successful American movie there is. They've got tons of Alien clones, Alien knockoffs, Jaws knockoffs. It goes on and on and on. Escape from New York. They made an entire genre just from ripping off Escape from New York, and Mad Max too, to a little extent, but mostly Escape from New York. But yeah, nobody does knockoff movies like the Italians. And yes, they're cheaper knockoffs, but they're a lot of fun. This movie, okay, Top Line. You can't really tell what the hell it's about. Let me show you. This is the alternative title that this movie has. Alien Terminator. Look at the Terminator. And it's funny that they, name it after this, because this dude is only in the movie for maybe 10 minutes at the most. He is a robot. He's an android trying to hunt down and kill Franco Nero. This movie came out in 1988. It's kind of ahead of its time in this weird way. Okay, so in the 70s and 80s, UFOs and aliens was in the zeitgeist. People knew about it. It was big in the 70s, and it kind of simmered down a little bit in the 80s, and then in the 90s when the X-Files came out and Art Bell was on the radio, it's like it got its second wind almost. There was like a renewed interest in UFOs and aliens. Not that it ever died, like from the 1940s it was a thing, but it kind of, ebbs and flows. Has high points where the public is interested a lot in it, and then it sort of dies down, and then another high point. So in the 70s it was a big thing, and then again in the 90s when the X-Files came out and Art Bell was on the radio. This movie came out in 1988, so this is This is before the X-Files. This is before that big resurgence in the 90s. This movie talks about aliens, these really cool, like, I guess they're reptilian aliens, like lizard monsters. I will use a picture of one of the monsters for the thumbnail on this video. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Right, that's fucking awesome, right? So okay, so the movie is about these alien monsters who have crash landed in the mountains in South America. And oh, before it crashed, okay, sorry, back up. The alien spaceship picks up a conquistador ship out of the ocean. And the conquistador ship had lots of treasure on board. Then the UFO crashed into the mountains in South America. And Franco Nero goes up to the mountains with this kid who found some of that treasure. And they go into a cave. And yes, there is the ship, the conquistador's boat, that has treasure on board. But it's being held inside this big UFO. And I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, but the cool thing is that this movie talks about all the world's governments being infiltrated and ran by aliens, by these reptilian aliens, that they have been these puppet masters all along pulling the strings. And, you know, all that reptilian, Illuminati, conspiracy things that are popular today, that sort of really kicked off in the 90s, was being talked about by this little fucking almost disposable Italian science fiction adventure movie. There's a cool interview with Franco Nero, and he talks about how it's like a movie made up of half the Terminator mixed with half Indiana Jones shoved together. And Franco Nero has always been cool. The interview with him is worth the price of admission alone. This is a pristine copy. It looks great. The monster looks amazing. You have to wait until the end of the movie to see the monster, but when they show it, you know where 95% of the budget for this movie went, to that monster. It's a really cool scene too. And you know, the alien starts changing, and it's kind of like The Howling, where the face, you know, it pushes out, kind of like The Howling or American Werewolf in London. It's all animatronics. It's all covered in slime, and it looks incredible. But yeah, even the shitty copy of this movie that I have, when I saw that scene, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Because it comes out of nowhere. You're not expecting that scene at all, and then you're just like, "What the fuck?" There's this huge, you know, 7-foot tall monster happening on the screen. It's really cool. But yeah, it's just funny how this came out at the tail end of the 80s, and all that reptilians infiltrating our government and being the real ones in charge, how that's a popular thing nowadays. It's just funny that this movie was talking about it way back in 1988. Yeah, Top Line. You guys should check this movie out if you've never seen it. This, Django, and Enter the Ninja are my favorite 3 Franco Nero films. But I mean, he's good in everything he does, but those are my top 3 favorite performances of his. and I'm just super happy that I got a hold of an incredible copy. I would say this, The Witch's Mountain, Paul Naschy's The Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman. They Call Her One Eye, or also known as Thriller. Lady Snowblood. All of those are like these titles that I never in a million years dreamed we would get on Blu-ray. I enjoyed all those films, like shitty VHS copies, and then when DVD came out, I thought that was amazing. And I always thought, man, it would be so nice to get like a super clear copy of those. And then, here we are. And I can add Top Line to that list. I can cross it off the wish list of movies I wish that would get upgraded. I can't believe that Top Line. I can't believe that something called Alien Terminator. Oh, so the Terminators, these robots, are created by the reptilians. Because, all the governments are in cahoots with the aliens. And when somebody knows too much, these robots that the aliens made, they hunt down people and kill them. It's so cool. It's so cheesy and it's so Italian. It's over-the-top fun. With a really good looking monster, too. Really cute girls, too. And Franco Nero being his charming self. I'll just show you guys real quick these two little monsters that I painted up, just because I don't want to do a separate video for them too. Do you remember I said that you guys know that I enjoy buying those cheap Chinese toys like Leonard and Chapmay and giving them better paint jobs, and then the toys look a million times better. So there was a skeleton guy. There was a skeleton sorcerer, wizard, whatever. And he had a real shitty paint job. Basically, his head was just white. And he had like green slopped on him and red pupils. It looked cartoony. So I painted him up to look more like a real skull. I haven't put the hood on him since I painted him. Oh, that does look cool. So that turned out cool. And this big nasty gargoyle. You know what? Maybe I will do a separate video for these. I repainted the mouth, the teeth, the eyes, the claws. Yeah, all right, screw it. I'll do a separate video for these so I can do some nice close-ups of it. Anyway, I was screwing around with those today as I finished up those Tombs of the Blind Dead Templar Knights. I finished those, and then I had all my paints laid out, so I was like, oh, what the hell, next victim, and I started painting these. I'll do a video for these guys separately. Anyway, just wanted to say hi, and if you've never seen Top Line, aka Alien Terminator, you guys should check it out. It's a lot of fun. It might be on fucking YouTube. You could watch it for free, but it's going to be a shitty quality. You guys should check out Diabolic DVD. I think that's where I bought it. I didn't get it from Severin, and I didn't get it from Vinegar Syndrome. So I think I got it from Diabolic DVD. I think that's where I got this one. Yeah, because Mondo Macabro doesn't have it either. It's got to be that one. Diabolic DVD. Shit, all four of those are cool places to get really cool movies from. But yeah, check out Diabolic DVD. Check out Top Line. And thanks for coming back and checking out yours truly, seeing what I am up to. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to watching movies. I think me and Thor are going to segue into some more Italian horror movies tonight. I think we're going to watch Burial Ground. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Happy Halloween.